Yo, how's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a lovely day or night, wherever you're at. And I'm having a pretty good morning myself. Life has been going quite well for me personally, and I just hope everyone who's watching, same for you. I want to talk about something, and it sounds a little goofy, I guess. Coming from a younger person, I'm just barely turned 21. And today, let's talk about the old days of the classic newspapers. I'm sure you remember, seeing those little newspaper boxes, little holder things like outside stores or inside the stores, and whether you're sitting and taking a dump after eating oatmeal with almonds, or in the park bench with birds flying by, or me on the carpet at home reading and possibly doodling on it, just drawing random pictures and such. Gone are those days. For the most part, I'm aware that some towns may still publish newspapers, but with phones, social media, and articles, there isn't really a demand. I'm not sure if my town still does publish newspapers. Sometimes I look at like the box outside, and if anything, one time I picked one up and it was like 5 years old. Like, it's just been left in there, left in its little own coffin. So basically, I'm talking about the past and the present, from newspapers to articles and I guess just social media. What has changed? See, like I said, I am 21 years old. And I've been around to see the rise of technology, and to be honest, I only read the newspaper back then just to look smart, but also to see what's the point of it, and also it's just reading experience. We all need to read when we're kids. We need to be able to read. I was a young kid who didn't know much, and I still may not know much, but I do know this. It seems like newspapers used to have a bit more passion and presence in them, where when you read articles, they're kind of more, I don't want to say robotic, because I know a lot of people will invest their time and writings into it, but there's definitely some that just feel like almost like AI is doing it, But there still is some good writers out there, 100%, writing legit articles, whether it's about food or news or topics and all that. Kind of with the AI and stuff, I think it's kind of going to be, I think people are just kind of depending on AI a little more than we should. And I think AI could be pretty good in some instances. I think, it's like having a little robotic friend kind of thing. But there's also some downsides, dude. Like, we don't want another Terminator. We don't want a Terminator out here, bro. Nah, we don't want a Terminator out here. You seen how fast that one runs in the second movie? Dude, the thing is terrifying. We don't want that. Back to this, like, not everyone can write a good article or blog or whatever you're writing, but it's much easier to be able to write one, generally speaking, because of the internet and recently AI and such. That's the thing. And it's the same with social media. There's honestly so many ideas and words being thrown around, so many trends and emotions coming and going, so many ways to make friends, but also come to a dead end with other humans. If everyone online even is a human, there's a clutter of bots literally everywhere. You've heard of the dead internet theory, perhaps? Well, yeah. It's becoming more true, sadly. This isn't just about newspapers. Even with school, we don't really use, from what I remember, a lot of assignments were kind of more online than on paper. And even from like elementary to high school, I think with younger kids, we didn't really use technology. I'm not sure now, but for sure back then, like in elementary, definitely used way more paper than anything. And throughout the years, I did notice where it was just becoming more and more common. Like, hey, let's do this online class. See, the internet is super cool. Everything, like, there's so much cool stuff we could do. There's so much cool things we could learn, right? Because we don't have to read or grab an encyclopedia like back in the day. And I didn't really get to experience that because, I really did grow up with the rise of technology. And, it's honestly overwhelming. In the direction we're going, I just kind of feel like, I don't know, it's flawed. I think we're evolving too fast, and that's to even say if we are evolving, because I talked in the previous video if we as society have evolved too fast, basically. And it's kind of weird because in some cases it kind of feels like there might be the opposite, where we're not really evolving. I think you kind of see with younger kids, parents might just kind of throw a screen at them. And I did read somewhere that parents are kind of catching on, like, hey, maybe don't force the screen on them 24/7. Maybe once in a while just watch a little show or something. But I think some parents are catching on to it, but I'm not sure if the damage is done. I feel like having a phone or a tablet is a pretty big norm nowadays. I mean, truly, I would call the internet a necessity, but we as humans and certain parts of the world don't need it or depend on it. Like, I can and can't imagine a time where the internet didn't exist, right? You know, you had to send your little birds with a little message and let them fly all the way across the land just to give a message to someone. And now we can just do it super easily. It's insane, just the way, like, Bluetooth and everything. Like, how does this happen? Like, am I made out of Wi-Fi or something? Like, is there like signals in me too? Look, it's just super crazy. I think the way society is going is like, it's insane, you know. Like, newspapers are just no more. I'm surprised they even make magazines still, but even then, all the magazines I see are just about celebrities, and that's the thing. And with social media, the focusing on celebrities and a bunch of useless, meaningless, soulless junk. And that's not to say that there isn't anything good on social media. You know, it's the same for me. I don't really like to use social media. I don't want to see anything really, you know, besides occasionally checking up cooking videos, which I like to cook. So it's really cool. But yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this social media and just this generation and humanity is kind of going through when it comes to the world of being on a screen. It's addicting. Being on the screen is super addicting. Shorts, TikTok. Some scientists say that scrolling is the new smoking, which is a bit interesting, and it's a dangerous habit. I have done my best to not get too into scrolling for the past couple years because I know it's so easy, and it's also just kind of not good. You know, it ruins your attention span. And let's say you're on YouTube, like, there's a bunch of people who make long form videos. Long form videos have a lot more work that goes into them compared to shorts. Now, I make shorts. It takes a little bit of work, at least what I'm doing at the moment. Long form videos feel like a bit more art in a way. Like, you can kind of create more. You're kind of doing what you want to do more without a time limit necessarily. Because for my channel, I definitely want to keep expanding with what I'm doing. And I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with in this world. And it's always been the case. It's not knowing what to do. And I think with just social media, it's kind of made it good and kind of not. Because of me, I've wanted to do YouTube since I was like 10 years old. And now I'm doing it. Or there's people posting online and doing the things they love. There's another side to this, and I feel like people are just posting just because they want the views, because they want the attention, because they want to say something. And sometimes that is good because we all have a voice. If you're like me, like, I noticed that people just post things really just for the sake of it, for attention. It's just not really good, like a good look, you know, but people still go into it. You know, the crowd is so blind. And you know, I know this is kind of deep. Like, I was just talking about newspapers, dude, but I think it's time to wake up. Basically what I'm saying, you know, it's time to wake up, chill out, basically, you know. And I get it, it's hard, you know. Being on the screen is, I think, as humanity, since like TVs, we liked it, you know. We like TVs and then computers and all that, and they are important. I think, you know, it's a privilege to have anything with it, like a screen on it, but there also needs to be a balance. I think it's important to connect with your natural self. I think this is important to say, but just scrolling and all that it's a trap. There's no soul, there's no love into even posting or just being chronically online, not even supporting, you know, because there's a lot of people that are just haters too. It's honestly disgusting to see, dude. Like, I think people are just too comfortable hiding behind the screen. People are too comfortable not, even for me, I've kind of had a hard time, even before I used the phone or anything, I just had a hard time connecting with people because I've just been more to myself. But with social media, it's like weird because once I started being more outgoing, it's just people started being on their phones way more and everything shut down, so everyone was on their phone. There's something so much different about being with someone in person than through the phone, and I think most of us know that, but because of the phone, it just makes it so easy to be so lazy, I guess. And just like newspapers, they were more connecting, right? There was proofreading on the newspaper, there was actual knowledge to be learned from it, and I think you get the picture I'm trying to paint here. But it just makes me wonder, like, kind of where are things gonna go in life when it comes to the world of phones and technology. And you know, it's a little bit concerning because, again, we don't want a T-1000 running after me or running after us. Like, no way, man. But you know, I think a lot of people are quite aware of just disciplining themselves from their phone, but I do my best to not be so glued to screens as much. It's frankly not healthy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say, and this was a very interesting video to make. I did go a bit deeper into it because deep down there's so much more to unfold from this topic, this story, from newspapers to articles. And now that I was saying it into words, it's even more eye-opening, and hopefully anyone watching this, it could have been pretty eye-opening to you, or make you kind of reevaluate just the way things are in a good way. Just want to say thank you so very much. We have reached 200 subscribers. This channel of mine it's growing a little bit, and I just hit 100 subscribers like a month ago. I'm just really thankful for everyone who's watching, supporting, commenting, liking, sharing, like you know, all of that stuff. Truly, I am really grateful to even be in this position and just to do YouTube as a little side thing, you know, for a little fun. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you stuck around, have a lovely day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you later.